So far we've learned about some of the complexities of using the font face rule. Now let's look at a few font services that can help simplify things a bit. So here we have a website called Font Squirrel, and fontsquirrel.com offers a whole bunch of different services, but one of the things they have is the font face generator, which is really cool, and I'll show you how it works. So first, we're going to go ahead and add our fonts. We have just 2 fonts here in a folder, so we'll go ahead and upload Chunk, and that should take just a second. There it goes. Then we'll go ahead and click the button again, and we'll upload our Orbitron font. And of course, these were taken from the League of Movable Type, so yes, we do have permission to legally embed these fonts, so we'll check that box there, and then we'll go ahead and download our kit. Now what it's doing here is it's sort of breaking apart our fonts and then rebuilding them into all the different font formats that we're going to need. And then it's bundling it up into a zip file format, and we just downloaded it, and we can unzip it. What we should have is a folder that looks something like this. We have our normal Chunk fonts and we have our Orbitron fonts in all the different file formats that we're going to need. And we also get a style sheet, which I'll go ahead and open up in TextMate here. This style sheet has the exact font face rules that we need to use in our style sheet. So we'll go ahead and copy and paste these, and we'll switch over to the style sheet that we've been working with, and we'll replace our font face rules with the ones we got from Font Squirrel. Now we had some pretty humble beginnings, and now we have a whole bunch more code. So we'll go ahead and step through that in just a second. First though, we need to replace our font family values in our first and second paragraph. So we'll go ahead and scroll up here and grab Chunk 5 regular and paste it in there. And then we have Orbitron bold, and we'll go ahead and paste it into our second paragraph there. And when we switch over to our website and refresh, if all went well, it should look exactly the same, which it does. So we could just go ahead and say that we're done with it, but it's always a good idea to have a good understanding of the code that you're using just in case you need to make changes. So let's go ahead and step through this code and figure out what makes it tick. So let's go ahead and just look at one of these font face properties because they're both exactly the same. So the first thing you'll notice is that we have 2 source attributes here. And the reason for that is some versions of Internet Explorer will pick up on the first source attribute and just get the .eot file and be done with it. However, normally the second source attribute should override that. So if Internet Explorer picks up on the second source attribute, then we have our question mark there and a little note that it's for an IE fix, just in case Internet Explorer grabs that and it decides to 404. So we should be good there. In all other browsers, we have our multiple source properties with the properly labeled format hint there, and they should be able to pick up on that and use the font that's appropriate for it. We also have an SVG fallback just in case we run into an older version of Chrome or another older version of a browser that only supports SVG. The font face generator from Font Squirrel is just one of many options. In the next video, we'll look at a few more font services.